So this famous mountain range has three main features. It straddles France, Switzerland, and Italy, and it is very close to Geneva, Lyon, and Turin, which together have a total population of 12 million. Road and rail access is very easy. The Mont Blanc mountain range is a relatively small mountain range, which is 50 kilometers long and 15 kilometers wide. It covers about 400 square kilometers. The main summit in the red triangle is the Mont Blanc, which is also the highest peak in the Alps at 4,810 meters. But its main geographical feature is that it is multinational. When you reach the summit of Mont Blanc in the yellow triangle, you are actually standing in 3 European countries. The second feature of the Mont Blanc range is the population density surrounding it. In the red triangles, you can see Lyon, Geneva, and Turin. This area is also one of the most economically dynamic regions in Europe. It is home to numerous industries, both old and modern. It is also very popular with tourists from all over the world. The third feature of the Mont Blanc range is its accessibility. On this picture, you can see in red, a 12 kilometers long tunnel runs under the Mont Blanc range. Close to 2 million cars and trucks use the tunnel each year. Geneva Airport is one hour's drive from Chamonix, so you can land in Geneva at 9 o'clock in the morning and put your crampons at the Aiguille du Midi at 11 o'clock. Aiguille du Midi is one of the legendary Mont Blanc peaks at 3,800 meters.
In little more than 3 centuries, Chamonix, which is a small village lost in the inaccessible valley, has become a famous tourist destination and now has 15,000 permanent residents. Each year, at the Chamonix Valley hosts 5 million visitors. It's like more of all the population of New Zealand visit the valley of 15 kilometers long every year. After geography, a little bit of history. As you probably know, the Mont Blanc mountain range is the cradle of European mountaineering. It starts with the first ascent of the top of the Alps by Paccard à Balma in August 1786. In the massif du Mont Blanc have been written some big pages of mountaineering history. For example, on this picture you can see Ricardo Cassin and his team just after the first ascent of the Walker Spur in the Grand Joras North Face in 1930. It was the last problem of the Alps after the North Face of Pic Badil, the Matterhorn, and Eger. You can also have shown the amazing achievement of Walter Bonatti, Lionel Terray, Tom Frost, Gary Hemming, and so on. The list is endless. Because of its accessibility, the Mont Blanc mountain range is probably where mountaineering press coverage began. In Europe, mountaineering achievement and exploit have always been popular among the general public. After almost 3 centuries of history, the Mont Blanc mountain range is still a laboratory for alpinists. On the left, illustrated is following the north face of the Grand Joras in little more than 2 hours. Beyond right, you can see the sky runner Kilian Jornet, who have the record holder the Mont Blanc ascent from Courmayeur in Italy to Chamonix in France. His record is stand less than 9 hours. At the right, the snowboarder Marco Siffredi training on a steep slope before the famous descent of the Northern Couloir on Everest. We may think that the modern mountaineering entrainment with light and faster has always been researched by alpinists to enhance performance. In fact, the Mont Blanc range is still a source of inspiration for mountaineering today. In a nutshell, we have a world-famous high mountain range with easily accessible. We think that the Mont Blanc mountain range is a perfect example of all the issues which we will discuss in this conference. The questions we have facing are how to manage a high mountain area pressured by climate change and many visitors, how to promote eco-friendly behaviors among mountaineers, how to preserve high mountain for the enjoyment for future generations. Let's have a closer look at climate change. In this graph, we can see the fluctuation of temperature from 1950 until now. The red line is show the temperature reading in the small town located in the south of the French Alps. In the blue line shows the temperature reading in another small town located in the north of the French Alps. It's clear that temperature have been rising more quickly since the end of the 80s. These two pictures of the Mer de Glace, one of the most popular scenic places of Chamonix, were taken at the interval of 85 years. In that time period, the glacier lost most than 100 meters in thickness. It was looked at this form of mountaineering point of view. It caused real problem to an unstable moraine, inaccessible route, especially for speech, and traditional snow and ice route, which are now inaccessible in the summer months. Climate change also a real impact on rockfall due to the melting of the permafrost inside the granite wall. The number of rock slides is increasing significantly in the 20 years. This slide shows the west face of the Dru, a big wall of 900 meters between 1854 and 2005. Due to recent earthquake, frequently a rock slide is accelerating. Several routes have vanished, such the Bonatti pillar of the Dru, you can see on the picture. All routes, such a normal route of Mont Blanc, has become particularly dangerous due to increasing rockfall. Last year, out of the normal route of the Mont Blanc, called le Refuge du Goûter, were closed by the authority for 25 days because the rockfall caused 6 dead.
Now I'd like to speak about visitor numbers. Here you can see a few figures to be aware of the number of visitors. As we said at the beginning, 5 million people visit the Chamonix Valley each year. There are also 32 mountain refuges spread over the Mont Blanc range. As I said before, access to the high mountains is easy. There are mountain trains and half a dozen cable car routes. The most impressive are the Aiguille du Midi cable car on the French side and the Skyway cable car on the Italian side. Here you can see on the French side the Aiguille du Midi cable car, which carries 500,000 people each year to an altitude of 3,800 meters for skiing, mountaineering, or simply to enjoy the scenery. On the Italian side, the Skyway Monte Bianco, which was inaugurated last year, can carry 500,000 visitors as well. It's a big complex with restaurants, meeting rooms, a movie theater, and even a wine cellar. France has very good wines, but Italian wines are not so bad. Now I'd like to talk about the normal route of the Mont Blanc, which is shown by the yellow line. Yes, this line. This route is very popular. It starts from the city of Saint-Gervais in the south of the Mont Blanc mountain range. Each year, more than 20,000 mountaineers try to reach the highest peaks of the Alps. It's not a difficult route, but there are specific hazards concentrating on a short passage between the two refuges, the Tétrousse refuge in the bottom and the Goutet refuge in the top of Aiguille du Goutet. Now let's look at where the accidents happens and what causes them. In 2012, the Petzel Foundation carried out a study about accidents on the normal route. From 1990 to 2011, 74 people died and 180 were injured along this route between the Tétrousse and the Goutet refuges. This portion represents only 23% of the route. Approximately half of all accidents occur along the 100-meter couloir crossing here, and 1/3 occur along the ridge. So just here. Most are caused directly or indirectly by rockfalls. Every year, on average, 3 or 4 people die here, around 8 people are seriously injured, and 1,000 people are affected by rockfalls. Obviously, rising visitor numbers means more accidents. As you can see from this pie chart, this is not just a local French problem. The victims come from all over the world. This raises several problems, but most importantly, the local decision makers, the mayor, the Mountain Federation, the guides cannot agree on a plan of action to reduce risks in this dangerous passage. This Mont Blanc problem is a clear example of the problems that are caused when the people who make decisions about high mountain issues cannot reach consensus. Today, we still have no serious safety solutions on the table. The Petzel Foundation is trying to help these decision makers to build a consensus. I can show you on the left this safety booklet translated in 10 different languages we produced. We participate also to a website dedicated to the Mont Blanc normal route ascent, which was set up by Chamonix. And on our website, you can see on the right the study that we made for a construction of a safe pedestrian gallery in this dangerous passage. High visitor numbers also lead to an impact on the environment. In the summer, light aircraft fly over the Mont Blanc mountain range every 10 minutes. On top of the heavy carbon footprint, these planes and helicopters create noise and visual pollution which totally changes the climbing experience. Personally, I have experienced it myself. The constant disturbance between 9 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening makes it really difficult to enjoy your climbing experience in a wilderness. High visitor numbers also means all kinds of waste. On this picture, you can see volunteers from the French Alpine Club collected more than 3 tons of waste on the Mer de Glace, the bigger glacier of the Mont Blanc range. This cleanup action has existed for 8 years, and each year the volunteers collect the same amount of garbage. Fortunately, some problems have been solved. Some mountaineers used to camp near the most popular refuges, which are overcrowded or too expensive. On the Plateau de Midi, here in the picture, or near from the Goutet refuge, there used to be 10 villages which had no sanitation. You can imagine the problems. Now, the authorities are much more attentive to this problem. From time to time, the police ask the mountaineers to take their tents down during the day. In general, this has been well accepted by mountaineers because bivouacking is still allowed from sunset to sunrise. On this slide, you can see the new Goutet refuge, which was opened 3 years ago. it can host 120 mountaineers. The construction of this building is at the cutting edge of high environmental quality technologies. It has been designed to be self-sufficient. The electricity and production of hot water are provided by solar panels on the facade. Only the kitchen uses gas. There is also a backup generator which can run on rapeseed oil. The drainage and disposal systems use submarine technologies. The level of waste is lower than the regulatory requirements. Apart from its access problem we just talked about, the new Goethe refuge is an example of what can be done to reduce pollution. But the downside is the cost. This refuge cost 7 million euros to build. So, the Mont Blanc range is one of the most famous mountain ranges in the world, and paradoxically, there is no real protection status. There is no national park or nature reserve status for the Mont Blanc mountain range today. 20 years ago, the Espace Mont Blanc was created. It was set up to facilitate discussions between Italy, Switzerland, and France on subjects relating to the Mont Blanc mountain range, but it has no real power of enforcement and no legal status for the moment. It is only an advisory body. There is an old ongoing struggle between sustainability and economic growth. And today, it's a fact that in the Mont Blanc mountain range, economic growth is in a winning position. Thank you for your attention.